Welcome to the Professional Women's Wellness Podcast. Our host, Dr. Peggy Gleason, creator of the Mindful Eating Approach, where I help professional women and business owners with a tailored path to weight loss and self-confidence without the stress of restrictive diets, time-consuming exercise regimes, or medications. I help you transform your eating habits to enhance all areas of your wellness, and we always offer inspiration, motivation, and education with amazing. Recently, I was invited to talk on a summit, which included topics such as energy fields, chakras, spiritual modalities. And I mean, it's such a fascinating genre. But more fascinating was when they asked me to speak about how the foods we eat influence not just our bodies, but our energy, emotions through the lens of the root chakra. I thought that was fascinating. And also sacral chakra, now that I think of it. So if you're not familiar with what chakras are, there are energy centers in the human body that are aligned along the spine. There are 7 main chakras listed from the base of your spine to the top of your head. Now, I'm only going to be talking about the root chakra mostly and a little bit about the sacral chakra. And then I'm going to talk to you about a couple ways that you can make sure it's balanced. The root chakra, as I said, is at the base of your spine, and it's about grounding, safety, and survival. Meanwhile, the sacral chakra, which is located just below the navel, governs creativity, pleasure, and emotional well-being. I think it's so cool that we can look at this, right? So together, these energy centers form the foundation for our sense of security, vitality, and joy. Now, I want to describe a little bit about my own experience so you can better understand this and how it is. Because I want to make sure I provide you with practical tips for aligning your eating habits with these 2 chakras to create the balance and energy in your life. Now, back to my little story. Years ago, I was feeling very disconnected. It was a very tough time in my life. I was a single mother and I was constantly overwhelmed, stressed, unsure of how to regain control. Like many women, I was juggling a career, a family, elder parents, and was in the midst of a very high stress job as a critical care registered nurse. Now, my habits mirrored my chaotic lifestyle, grabbing whatever was convenient and quick. I did not realize how much this disrupted my energy centers, especially my sense of stability and emotional fulfillment. It wasn't until I began exploring holistic health that I understood how my food choices affected my energy of grounding and stability. Who would have thought, right? So let me explain a little bit better. The root chakra, as we said, represents grounding, security, and survival, right? Well, so food does too, right? But when balanced, you feel safe, stable, and supported. When unbalanced, it can manifest as anxiety, fear, even disordered eating patterns. So let me just give you a little idea here. Foods that help balance the root chakra are red foods like beets, strawberries, and tomatoes. Root vegetables like sweet potatoes, carrots, and radishes. You love the combination of the oranges and reds. And also proteins like beans, nuts, lean meats, and all of this to promote the stability and strength. So sometimes we get it out of alignment, and our eating habits can really throw for a loop. So some of the things that will impact the stability are over-reliance on processed or fast foods. That disrupts your grounding energy. It makes you feel scattered and anxious. Think about when you've had a way too big meal and a lot of dessert or just a lot of junk food. Sometimes you're either wiped out, you lost your energy altogether, or you are a little scattered or anxious. Just keep note of that the next time you start digging into things. The other thing that can signal instability to the root chakra is skipping meals. Now, when you have a busy life, and I know many, many of you listeners have a busy life, and sometimes we even skip meals. And skipping meals is really not a good thing because it triggers that survival-based stress, right? So that will automatically make you want cravings. You'll have cravings, right? Because you're trying to survive, right? So you have cravings for unhealthy foods. Now, how can you rebalance the chakras with food? Well, you know how when you were young, you had hearty meals? I know when I was young, we had homemade soups and stews and, meat and potatoes. And that's what's interesting. Because for me, looking back at my childhood, that was grounding, right? And it was also when we had people around. So you want to focus on grounding meals, hearty, warm, nutrient dense. So like I said, think of stews, roasted vegetables, hearty greens like quinoa and brown rice. Also, incorporate some intentional mindfulness. So before eating, take a deep breath. It's not that hard. Just go and visualize your energy rooting into the earth. It's sort of like when I think of people that do earthing, and earthing is when you don't have shoes on and you really plant your feet on the earth and feel everything and, crunch your toes, and it's really pretty amazing. So just make sure that you're taking that pause. Other practical tips for a chakra-aligned eating are, of course, mindful eating practices. I want you to take your time. Take your time while you're eating. And my first thing, and I tell everybody that knows me, if you want to start learning how to slow down your eating, take a bite, put your fork down, and let go of the fork and enjoy. So you want to engage your senses. Notice the colors, the textures, and flavors on your plate. Set the intention to nourish not just your body, but your energy centers. And I want you to incorporate chakra-specific foods, as we mentioned, the red and orange foods, regularly to support these chakras. And try to plan meals that incorporate both grounding and emotionally supportive ingredients, like, as we've mentioned, roasted sweet potatoes with a citrus salad. That would be a perfect match, right? And remember, it's not just the food. You also need to pay attention to hydration and movement. When you're dehydrated, it is wicked. You can get headaches, you're drowsy. There's so many different things about dehydration that affect people and they don't even realize, especially in the summer months when you don't even realize how much liquid you're losing through sweating. I know in Arizona, you don't feel yourself sweat. It's such dry heat. And that's where we see a lot of dehydration in our patients. Also, the gentle movement like yoga or a short walk complements these dietary practices by helping energy flow freely through the root and chakras and sacral chakras. So to wrap this up, I just want to tell you how important it is to recognize you have other energy centers throughout your body, and balancing the root chakra through mindful eating can profoundly impact your sense of stability, creativity, and emotional well-being. Remember, every meal is an opportunity, not just to fuel your body, but to nourish your energy and align with your true self. If this resonates with you, I'd love to help you dive deeper into mindful eating practices and their connection to your energy or to your overall health. Let's work together to create balance, harmony, and vitality in your life, one bite at a time.
Professional Women's Wellness Podcast. If you would like to attend training sessions by our amazing podcast guests and have a chance to connect, join the Professional Women's Wellness newsletter. For more details and to sign up, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. Each week, we will select a reviewer who will receive free access to my $197 course, Goodbye Night Bites, a 30-day journey to stop emotional eating at night. Please subscribe to get notifications of future episodes.